Hello and welcome to episode 617 of the Daily Sales Message podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff too. Now, in today's episode, we're talking about finding your unique selling voice. What I mean by this is how you are on a phone call or a Zoom call or in a meeting with people. My wife used to take the mickey out of me years ago, saying that I had a work laugh and I had a work voice. But I think it's true of most people that you behave slightly differently when you're in the company of people that you're trying to sell to. When I say differently, what I mean is kind of you're more professional. You present a more polished version of yourself, which you don't really need to do in this day and age. You can be very informal and very relaxed, but we feel like we need to present this polished version of ourselves. Anyway, I digress. But in terms of your actual selling voice and how you sell to people, your tone is what I'm talking about here, essentially, your tone. I found that how I sold to people has been very, very effective over the years, but I couldn't really articulate my tone, what I was doing, how I was doing it. And then I realized one day, I worked it out, I sat down and thought, I need to be able to articulate this, put some words to it, put a name to it. And I came up with 2 words that describes my tone of voice. Actually pretty much covers on these podcasts as well, funny enough, but it's this: respectfully curious. Respectfully curious. So respectfully is one of the most important parts of that. So at no point am I going to assume anything or talk down to anybody or be rude to anybody. You're certainly not going to get any snotty follow-up emails from me or anything like that. I'm always respectful of people, respectfully. And next one, curious. And this is really where the tonality comes in, because when you're curious, you kind of talk like that, and the end of your words goes up like that. So if you imagine you're talking to a child of maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that, when you talk to them, you say, wow, look at that. And why do you think that is? Oh, and what's that about? Obviously, I'm talking in a slightly exaggerated tone in this example here. But when I speak to buyers, this is what I'm doing. And I think also on the podcast, you can tell me, it feels like I do this on the podcast without even thinking about it, but I'm respectfully curious. So I'll say, if you don't mind me asking, what do you think about that? Or if it's okay with you, could you share with me last quarter sales numbers? So I'm asking questions, I'm being curious, I'm taking an interest, which makes the buyer feel important, which is very important in and of itself. But I'm doing so in a respectful way. I'm always a stickler for manners. And I think that's because I was raised properly by my mum. So if I'm in a restaurant or something, you hear somebody say, espresso, there's no please, no thank you, no excuse me. Oh, it grinds my gears. I really think we need to be as respectful as possible with people. So respectfully curious, that's the tone of voice. That's my sales voice. That's what I found over the years works for me. What works for you? Give it a try. But the tonality of your voice and how you interact with people will go a long way to helping you make or break a connection with somebody or make or break the sale. One thing you definitely got to be careful of, and I've managed to tone it down over the years, is having a work voice or a work laugh. So something that feels a bit, it's also like a game show voice. Oh, welcome back to the podcast. It's this overly kind of polished and overly welcoming tone where you don't feel like you're being yourself. If you just talk to people like they're your friends or your family, but with that respectfully curious tone, you're going to do very, very well. So that's finding your unique sales voice. And that's it for today's episode. Nice and short one. Right, tomorrow, episode 618, as I squint to find out what that is, because I should be wearing glasses now for concentration work, but I just don't want to. Right, tomorrow I'm going to tell you how to sell like a clothes shop. Many years ago, I had a Saturday job, and they gave us a very, very brief introduction to sales and selling and talking to people. But there's one thing in particular that clothes shops do or try to do that's really interesting that I think could work well for you and your business. So we'll talk about that in tomorrow's episode. Thank you for your time and attention. As always, I'll catch you tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message.